G. And then came...
Me!
And Mom said...
Me!
And then came...
Me.
And they said...
That's 3.
Big 3!
This is our star, Justin Hartley. He's talking about this beautiful young lady, his daughter, and her dating life. And you know what? He doesn't like it. The fan favorite told Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show it's really stressing him out.
My daughter, oh God, she's wonderful, but she's 15 now, 15 going on like 50, and she's, brother, she's dating a little bit. And yeah, man, I just want to crawl into a hole and die. I know it's like it's a natural thing. I know it's a healthy thing. She's wonderful, she's sweet, she's responsible, she's great. She's earned the trust.
Of course.
But I hate it.
No, this is not.
I hate all of it.
You really hated it, right? Really?
I've never loathed anything more in my life than, because I loved her first, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's right. You loved her first, so you're the dad.
That's really sweet, isn't it? Psychologist Wendy Walsh with us now to talk about dealing with your teen dating, because even though Justin Hartley's struggling a bit, he says his daughter has earned the trust to date. That's one of the things that really stood out, I think, to people when they heard this. And I want to know from you, as parents, how do we know that we've earned their trust?
Well, you know if you've got the kid that doesn't need as much monitoring, that is ready for a little bit of autonomy. But dating is like anything else kids need to navigate. They need our guidance and they need some freedom. So, parents got to realize that about 80% of humans have sex for the first time by their 19th birthday. So they need to be armed with information, not just information about abstinence or even just the plumbing, physiology information. They need to learn about the psychology of sexuality, how women are more likely to get a broken heart because we emit so much oxytocin, the bonding hormone, during sex. That all men are wired, sadly to say, according to evolutionary biologists, given the situation, to be sexually aggressive if they might not get caught. So boys need to understand their own psychosexuality. We need to talk about consent. Yes means yes. Just because you've said yes to one thing doesn't mean the next thing's okay. Lots to talk about.
Oh my gosh. I think I need to take notes on this whole segment. I mean, it's making me nervous. And one of the things that I know I do when I'm having any, thoughts with my kids about where they are and what they're doing is I think about, okay, what was I like and what did this feel like when I was their age? Does that really help in today's day? Because we're living different lives. There's social media. There's so many things that are different now than there were when we were young.
I think that's a great strategy, is to go into the headspace of that teenager and think, what was I doing? What would I have needed at the time? What kind of guidance? What kind of information from my parents? What kind of education? And the reason why this is hard is the parents often don't have the knowledge. I mean, they have knowledge about birth control and prevention of STDs, but they don't have that important relationship knowledge about how to teach their kids to keep their hearts safe in all of this.
And that is so true. And I think when you were talking about, the evolutionary aspect of this, the psychology, girls do lead with their hearts more than, I'm not taking anything away from the boys, but just from what science shows us. And I know you have 2 daughters, a 16-year-old and a 21-year-old. What have you learned that you think is the most pivotal to share with the rest of us?
Well, they're all knuckleheads, okay? The prefrontal cortex is not fully developed until they're 25. So it takes a while for them to make these good decisions. But I'll tell you this may not sound politically correct, but it's been backed up by science. Sex is a much higher risk hobby for women. We are more likely, because of our unique biology, to contract an STD, to fall in love, as I mentioned, or to contract an 18-year case of parenthood. Men, on the other hand, are less likely to fall in love through sex. Women often will give sex thinking he'll like me more, but he won't like you one bit better. He falls in love through trust, and he generally doesn't trust a woman who gives sex easily. The other research I think is important that everybody knows is that there's research on people who the first onset of sexual behavior happens early, mid, or late. Early being age 13, 14, 15, mid being 15, 16, 17, late being 18 and above. And what the research, the long-term studies show is that the later the onset of first sexual activity, the better lifestyle outcomes, the fewer divorces, more academic achievement, more money made. I mean, it's amazing that just getting your head out of this game and letting it develop a little bit for a couple years actually has long-term lifestyle benefits. I think that's a better message than just, oh, just abstain. Like, how about take it in stages? And just because you kiss or fondle somebody doesn't mean you have to have sex. There's lots of choices.
I'm going to record this segment. And I'm going to make everything down. Actually, will you just send me those notes, please, Wendy? Because I just need them in writing when I continue to have these conversations. Wendy Walsh, thank you so much.
Thank you.